Our hope is to pass something very early so the Senate can take action as well. Wouldn't put any jeopardizing any of the economy there. Shows that it is a very rational, put us on a better path, and I would think all the American public could support it, and the Senate as well.
There is a long tradition here of Congress acting to raise the debt ceiling. This is a power that they've given themselves to do, and the point is, without drama and delay, a monthly extension is drama. Okay, Congress should simply do its job. It should not, we're not going to negotiate over extending the debt ceiling.
Well, this is what Republicans have come up with out of their meeting in Williamsburg, Virginia. They have come up with this on their plan: a 3-month debt ceiling increase. Debt limit increase contingent on the Senate passing a budget, which they haven't done in quite some time, and no spending cuts except congressional members pay without budget. Basically, congressional members can't get paid without spending cuts. Syndicated columnist Charles Krauthammer, who, by the way, wrote an editorial column, said this: offer to extend the debt ceiling through, say, May 1st in exchange for the Senate delivering a budget by that date after 4 years of lawlessly refusing to produce one. So, Charles, how did you come up with this idea?
Came to me in the shower. That's where I get all my ideas. And I can assure you that I don't shower with House Republicans. Republican senators, perhaps, but not congressmen. Look, I came to two conclusions. I mean, I was as...
we should point out that this came out before... well before this decision, and you hadn't talked to anybody.
No, I hadn't talked to anybody, and it came out online Thursday, and it was the Republicans have proposed similar idea today. I have no idea how it arose in their caucus, but the conclusion I came to is this: Republicans have tried brinksmanship now twice under Obama with the fiscal cliff and debt ceiling, and got shellacked, and Gingrich tried it twice with the shutdowns also in the 90s, and he got shellacked. If you're in opposition, you cannot govern from the House. So what do? I thought the way to go ahead is to do incremental debt ceiling hikes, where you ask for something relatively small but completely unassailable. I mean, what are the Democrats going to say? We're now going to allow America to go into default because we refuse to ask the Democratic Senate to pass a budget, which under law it has to do and hasn't for 48 months. So if you make a demand that is obviously popular, unassailable, and reasonable, and it's a small demand, then you change the debate about who's being unreasonable and who is taking America to the brink. So I'm happy that the Republican House has decided to go ahead with this.
We would prioritize 3 categories of payments. One would be debt service, interest on our debt so that we wouldn't have the default. A second would be Social Security payments to our seniors so they don't have to worry about whether their check is coming or not. And the third would be pay for active duty military personnel.
I think it's the wrong way to go, wrong way to think about this. If Republicans are thinking of how to do what will be a massive shutdown, because it means of every dollar the government spends, it has to go without spending 40 cents, because that's what we borrow, and we would no longer have the authority to do it. Republicans ought not be talking about draconian the cuts. The president will turn it against them, as he did with the fiscal cliff and with the last debt negotiations, and as he did a couple of days ago, saying, I'm not going to be able to do air traffic control and meat inspection, all this. It gives the advantage entirely to the Democrats. If you go into default, it should be the Democrats who do it because of something small, reasonable, a budget in the Senate, and then have a series of these small, unassailable steps as you give 3-month incremental raising of the debt ceiling, and you can then have the Democrats on the defensive continuously on what is the Democratic problem, the refusal to do anything serious about spending and debt.
Terrorists should be on notice that they will find no sanctuary, no refuge, not in Algeria, not in North Africa, not anywhere.
This is an act of terror. The perpetrators are the terrorists. They are the ones who have assaulted this facility.
We believe at this hour it's still continuing. I mean, we believe at this hour this hostage crisis is still ongoing. They are still in the process of trying to negotiate for the release of this blind sheikh who we have. They believe that this thing is not over. So while some part of it is over,
I'm just saying it's not going to go on for months and months the way it would have been if there had been some kind of a siege around this, or if a decision had not been made to go in militarily at all.
Charles.
I agree. This is not exactly a precision operation, and by all reports, a lot of the hostages have died. I think the reason is the Algerians fought for 10 years against exactly these Islamists in a terribly bloody and cruel war that the Islamists lost. So these are the remnants of that rebellion, and they do not, the Algerian government has no intention of giving them any kind of victory or, as others have said, a sound stage to announce demands and revive essentially the Islamist insurgency in Algeria. So I suspect there'll be no Westerners who get involved in this. The Algerians will finish it one way or the other.
Okay, winners or losers?
Winner, I'd say the President of France, François Hollande, who, or at least now, his popularity, he's a socialist, the last person you'd expect to send in a force into Mali, but he's upholding what the French people think of as the Monroe Doctrine of France, which is French West Africa is their backyard and it's not going to be taken over by enemies like jihadists. The losers, I think, obviously Lance Armstrong and Monty Teo, for reasons that don't have to be explained. And as I thought last night, I think both of them end up on Oprah.
This has been a Sunfish production.